Hi guys, Alberto here. Welcome to the Bedroom Rocker YouTube channel. Today we are checking out another amazing pedal by Electro-Harmonix, the Green Russian Big Muff Pi. First I'm gonna give you an introduction on the pedal and on Big Muffs, then I'm gonna show you the recording setup and a couple more sound clips. Finally, we move on to the review part. So let's go! In 1968, Mike Matthews founded Electro-Harmonix, and in the following year they released the very first version of the Big Muff, which is now known as the Triangle Muff. At the time, many players like Jimi Hendrix, Carlos Santana, David Gilmour, and even more pop bands like the Carpenters experimented a lot with the Muff. Throughout the 70s, 80s, 90s and even 2000s, there has been at least 12 versions of the Big Muff, including several variations or subversions of each one of them. If you really want to get nerdy about it and read about the differences and even dive into electronic circuit schematics, make sure to check the Big Muff page. In the 90s, Electro-Harmonix started manufacturing these pedals in Russia under the brand Electro-Harmonix-Sovtek, which stands for Soviet technology. The pedals were built in a former military equipment factory in St. Petersburg, which gave origin to the legend that they were built using scrap from military equipment like tanks, aircrafts and even landmines. While this is probably bullshit, these pedals are very well regarded and very collectible. Like most Big Muffs, they are known for having a fat and powerful low end, but they have moderate levels of gain and a bit more mid-range bite, which really makes them more versatile and easier to use. The problem with most original Big Muffs is that they are big, heavy, they take weird power supplies, and there's a lot of variability even within pedals of the same version. Despite that, they became very collectible and can reach very high prices in the used market. In recent years, Electro-Harmonix finally decided to reissue these pedals in a more convenient, modern format, taking a regular 9-volt power supply. So besides the Green Russian Muff, you can find also the Triangle Muff, the Ram's Head Muff, which is often associated with David Gilmour, and also the op-amp version Big Muff, which is also associated with Smashing Pumpkins. In terms of controls, the pedal is fairly simple. You get a volume and a tone control, and the drive knob is labeled Sustain. In fact, despite sounding very similar to a fuzz, these pedals have always been marketed as a distortion sustainer because, well, you get loads of sustain with it. Let's take a look at some more sound samples now. As usual, I'm gonna play my Fender Telecaster into the Victory V40, and then I'm gonna use the 2Notes Torpedo Wall of Sound plugin to load the impulse response of a high-watt 2x12 cabinet loaded with Fane speakers. So let me know your thoughts. I have to say I really like this pedal. It is my first Big Muff and it's been a life-changing experience. It's very powerful to play a Big Muff because everything just feels so fat and so powerful. It's got tons of gain on it. However, it's a very vintage flavored gain with sort of a slower attack and a loosened bottom end. So it's great for some heavy riffs in the lower strings. It's also great for creating this sort of three-dimensional wall of sound, playing power chords, and also excellent for long sustaining bends and solo in the higher strings. It's of course not the best for playing full chords because you don't get as much sound separation between the strings. Finally, the tone control also adds a lot of flexibility to this pedal. It controls the mid-range and it essentially allows you to tweak how much bite or how much you want the sound to cut through. Construction-wise, you get a plastic enclosure which makes the pedal very light, and the knobs and switches all feel very robust. I've been using this pedal for 2 years and I haven't had any issues or crackling noises or something like that. The pedal is true bypass, and in terms of design you get this very cool military green color with the distortion label in Russian, which makes it look even more badass. The only negative aspect of this pedal is the noise floor. The pedal by itself is not noisy, but it has so much gain on it that it amplifies any tiny hiss or hum that you may have in your signal chain. So if you have the pedal turned on and you are not playing the guitar, you can really hear the entire ocean coming out of your amp and maybe even pick up some Russian radio transmissions. So if you are the kind of player who gets annoyed with noise, keep that in mind. It's best to use an isolated power supply with this pedal, and even better if you can keep it into an isolated signal chain. In my case, I do use an isolated power supply, but I have mostly simple pedal boards without switching systems, and I still think the amazing sounds you get out of it win over this annoying noise thing. The Green Russian Big Muff goes for 85 euros here in Europe, and in my opinion this is a great price point. It is the oldest and the most affordable among the reissues currently made by Electro-Harmonix, and I can totally recommend this pedal. If you are creating a David Gilmour inspired rig, this is awesome. Actually, Jorn from Gilmourish.com gave it a 10 out of 10 in recreating Gilmour sounds. And even though David Gilmour is mostly associated with the Ram's Head Big Muff, I think Electro-Harmonix really nailed the sound of this one. Also, if you play desert rock or shoegaze stoner, this is an excellent pedal. And if you already own a tube screamer and a crunchy type of overdrive, you're looking for something with a different flavor, this will give you something completely different. So if you're looking also for something like this, but want a more affordable package, I can recommend you the TC Electronic Honeypot Fuzz, which is definitely based on a Big Muff circuit. And I haven't tried it, but TC Electronic usually delivers very consistent and good quality products at very affordable prices. Hope this video was helpful to you. If this is the case, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more guitar and gear related content. If you like these videos and you want to support the channel, in the description box below you'll find the Patreon link and also affiliate links to the Green Russian Big Muff and to all other gear I have used to make this video. If you use them, we get a small commission that really helps to run the channel and get more products to make reviews at no additional cost for you. Keep on rocking and cheers!